I might have jinxed myself. In the beginning of the year, I've had such great reads, and I was talking about how I am so excited for the rest of the year. Because if this is how the year started, then the reads will only get better and better as the year continues. And I decided to scour the internet, bookstores, publishing websites, just to get an idea of the books that are coming out in the coming months, so that I can have them on my radar and get excited about what's to come. I think I shouldn't have done that because the list I was getting was very thin compared to previous years. And I don't know why this is because in previous years I'm able to get such a wide variety all through December. You can kind of get an idea of all the books that are coming out, if not all, a good number. But this time around, I was only getting books up to July. And even then, the list seemed so thin. And I was like, what is going on? But anyway, I got over that challenge and I was able to get a few good ones that I'm very, very excited about. And and to start us strong is Score by Kennedy Ryan. I am a recent Kennedy Ryan lover. I came across Before I Let Go on TikTok, and at first I was kind of hesitant. I'm not the greatest fan of second romance novels. I don't know why. I do know why. But I decided to give it a chance and I found it so beautifully written, and she did justice to all the characters. And in the end, I was pleasantly surprised that I picked up the second and the third book in the Skyland series. But my one true love when it comes to Kennedy Ryan is the Hollywood Renaissance series. The first book being Real, which follows a director and an actress, and I was in love with that book. From beginning to end, I was enamored. And I remember thinking, oh my god, why didn't she focus on this series first instead of the Skyland series? No hate to the Skyland series. I find the characters of the Skyland series so rich, so diverse. These three women are living such different lives, but they are still able to be so close as friends. And when that series ended, I was a bit sad because I wanted to know more about them. And that's a mark of a great book when you finish the last chapter and you're still thinking about the characters. At least for me, that's how I usually gauge if I liked a book or not, if it's able to sustain my attention past the last page. And now we have the Hollywood Renaissance series, and the second book is Score, and it follows a screenwriter. I think that's one of the main characters. I'm not sure what the other main character does, but I'm still so excited, and I like to go into these books without a lot of information. Again, the element of surprise. I'm definitely looking forward to Score the most. The second book is Missed Connections by Tia Williams. Again, Miss Tia is an automatic buy for me. She's an automatic read. This woman has a beautiful way of writing. I remember when I first read 70s in June, I could not shut up about it. I think I went on for years and years talking about 70s in June. And then when A Love Song for Ricky Wilde came out, Be Still My Beating Heart, oh my god. She can do no harm in my books. She even made me read, not made me, but she made me read Hawaii after not reading Hawaii for so long, and I loved it. The only book of Tia's that I did not like was The Perfect Find, not because there was anything wrong with the writing. It's the genre of the book that I have a problem with. Not even the genre. What do you call it? I don't know. But I am not a fan of, again, age gap romances. It doesn't matter who the author is. I find them weird. I find them uncomfortable. And so even if it's written by one of my favorite authors, I know I won't enjoy it. So why read it and hate it? But other than that, I'm a Tia Williams lover. So Missed Connection is, I am waiting with bated breath on bended knee. I wanted to perform the Boys to Men bended knee just now, and that's the problem. Once I say a word that I can associate a lyric with, ah man, I'm already here. I can't even think about it again. I'll start singing. Pool House by Mary Choi. Um, Again, it's about a mother and a daughter, and it's a coming of age, and again it goes through motherhood. I feel like there's such finality when a woman comes into being a mother. You are expected to know everything, you're expected to be perfect. But I feel like, again, in as much as how we can come of age at any point in our lives, motherhood is a continuing journey. You will always learn something new. I'm excited to see how this book tackles that, and just how grief plays a part in all this. As someone who, again, is going through their own journey with grief, I'm always on the lookout for books that dissect grief and the lives of people who are undergoing something so life changing with little to no support. Reading has been a way to connect with these parts of myself. And yeah, so I'm always on the lookout for books on grief or books that have themes of grief. Next book is Skin Contact by Elisa Faison. This follows a woman who has lost her mom, again, grief, and an open marriage is suggested as a way to bring her back to life. And there's this rule. I don't know if it's a rule, if it's a suggestion, if it's some unknown thing, but the first thing you're told when you have lost someone and you are in the throes of pain and anguish, do not make any life decisions that are big. So in this moment, you're supposed to reduce your life in a way that there are no major decisions being made. And for some people, they still make these major life decisions and it works out well for them. I'm not saying, don't make any decisions in your life, but just try to minimize, life-changing decisions. And here in this book, we see our protagonist is making, a big life decision. She's deciding to open her marriage, and I just want to see how that works for her. Does it kind of help with the grief or does it not? So I'm curious to see. I don't know. Honey by Imani Thompson. This follows a murder, a woman who is a serial killer. So I'm excited. I support women, and I want to see what drove her to murder. Take What You Can by Naima Costa follows two BFFs who are once a trio, and the third member of the group is an older woman, according to what I got from the description. And I just want to know what that dynamic was and how these two friends are now existing as a duo instead of a trio. Again, I'm curious to find out what is going on. Thirst by Marina. I will not attempt her second name just because I know I will butcher it. There are two different time periods and it's described as a genre blurring book. What does that mean in this day and age? Genre blurring. I want to find out. I want to see how you come up to the conclusion that this is a genre blurring book. And I know I'll be, I might not love it. That's the thing about books that have like different genres, because as a reader, I have my preferred, genres of books that I love, but I want to see how, if I hate it, why do I hate it? But I won't. There is a Shampoo Effect by Jenny Jackson. It follows a woman who is trying to get herself into the good graces of her boyfriends in group. And immediately I read the description of this book, I immediately thought of Gossip Girl. Not because the book is similar to Gossip Girl in any way, but remember how, if you have watched the show, Blair, Serena, Nate, and that guy who was obsessed with Blair, what was his name? Chuck? Was his name Chuck? Was it Chuck? What are we? Okay, I think his name was Chuck. Those four people. Was there any other member of the group? But I remember the four core of that group. Sometimes these people despised each other and they'll do nasty things to each other, but it didn't compare to what they did to people they considered not part of the group. Case in point, the dark-haired girl. I'm just now giving descriptions. I don't even remember the name of the characters, but they were so mean. Okay, I watched it as a teen, so maybe my But actually, my teen self was mean, so I will know what mean is. So yeah, they were so mean and they were so nasty. They were really nasty to each other, but they were nastier to people who they considered not part of their in group. And this book describes itself as a woman trying to get herself from the point of being an outsider to the in group. They're going to do bad things to her. And I kind of want to look away, but I will read the book and then we'll see if I like it. Then the next book is The Intrigue by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I was pleasantly surprised by how well the descriptions of Mexican Gothic immersed me into what was happening, and I ended up loving that book. And I have been kind of playing around with her other books, wanting to read them. They are on my TBR, so I will add this to join the list. But I feel like I will read this. I will read this before her other books. I don't know. I just like the cover. It's a bit more. It's a bit different from her previous covers. I don't know. I do judge a book by its cover. I'm hoping that this list does grow, especially towards the end of the year. See you in the next one.